So do you version control system? Have you heard about version control system?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. What is the main intention of version control system?
Like if anything wrong in the current deployed version, they can revert it back.
Correct,
And
correct.
who deployed whom also record will be there. Like
Yeah,
who deployed what version code.
correct, correct. That is the main intention of version control system because in order to track the history of files, tracking main thing is tracking history, right? History of your records. Because nowadays even Mozilla Firefox is there or Chrome browser is there. Every time they are going to upgrade, right? One 46 version, 70 version, 80 version, 113, 112 like this. Each and every version they are going to make some changes, right? Or they may have the enhancements, correct?
Yeah.
Similarly, here also, whenever if you are document anything, say today you are creating one Word document, okay? So after 3 months or 2 months, you want to modify that file because why you want to modify? There are some additional changes or additional functionalities came into the picture or unnecessary functionalities which are obsolete. Those kind of functionalities you have to remove from the document. So in such cases, what you have to do, you need to maintain a history. Say initial version, if you consider 1.0, then second version you can say 1.1 like this, 1.2 and 2.0 version like this. Whenever we are going to make some changes, we are going to make a track of history. Okay, because each and every time they are not going to track in our local systems, right? So now I am going to make the folder. Okay, I will create one Word document and I will save it in my local desktop. But tomorrow, if something is going to happen in our local desktop or local machine, then what other alternative you have? Because this document also got lost, right? You are going to lose the data, right? If something got corrupted, right?
Yeah.
Data is going to lose. So how to protect this? How we can able to in order to avoid these kind of things? Suppose if any earthquake happens or any fire accident is happened and your laptop got corrupted, okay, and your lab no more is your laptop or desktop, whatever it may be, and you are stored all the files in your desktop or in our local system. Then what is the other alternative? How are we going to recover that? Because you won't get your laptop again back. But if you are going to save all those files under a remote repository, then whenever, even though if you have any problem in your local machine, the documents which is stored in the central repository, that is going to be recovered. Whenever if you have regain or once your computer is ready, then you can able to log in your central repository and get it the reports from there or documents that repositories, right? So that is the way you can able to get it. Okay. So that is the main advantage. And one more thing. Suppose you are working on a project. Say this is a one software application. So imagine that this is one software application. So once if it is a software application, this is a buildup of lines of code, right? Maybe you may have the 1,000 lines of code or 2,000 lines of code or 10,000 lines of code. It doesn't matter. But in front end, you can see the user interface, like how you can have the front end application, how it looks like. Say, for example, if I'll show one example here, see, this is one alert or anything, right? Say, for example, registration. Okay, say for example, if you go with this, if I'll open, see, I have this thing, right? See how this looks like in front end. You are just seeing the user interface, but how this looks like in the back end, if you go and inspect it, you can see the programming here, right? This is a nothing but HTML code, right? So this is the lines of code which is written from the developers. Okay. See, tomorrow I want to add one more button here. Here we have the register button, and I want to add submit button also. Submit button or cancel button or save button. So how are we going to do this? Today, this is whatever we are having. This is the version 1.0. Suppose if I'll open it, Notepad, I can see the code here, right? Say I can see the code here. So tomorrow I want to have the register button here. So if I want cancel button or submit button, then what I will do? I will add a one more button here. Suppose I have two more buttons I need. So what I will do? I will make it here as a cancel, and here also I will make it as a submit. Okay. So now I will just save this. And if I go and if I right click and if I'll refresh it, I can see this cancel, right? Okay. But if I want to get in side by side, then I will just keep it here as we have a farm group. Okay. So we can say here cancel button. All are comes under the farm group. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So just imagine that these are the three buttons are there. So this is going to be happen. Changes are going to happen, right? So initial version of the code is 1.0, and whatever we made the changes here, that is 2.0 or like that. So that is how we are going to make the changes. So similarly here, now this is my application. Okay, so normally in HTML content or HTML document, we are using the Bootstrap here, but rather than Bootstrap, I'm going with CSS. Okay, what does it CSS means? We have the color coding or like kind of we are doing makeup, right? So we can do the makeup for this particular application. Okay, whatever the front end application is there, suppose if you want to do some makeup or you want to make some color coding for this, you have to use the CSS file. Okay, so that is someone is going to do that CSS file. And similarly, if you want to go with validations, right? So for validations, we are going to use the JavaScript. So for JavaScript, some other people are going to write the script for this, like validations, how this is going to be validate. Whenever if you are entering something, whether this is going to be validate or not. So that is what we are going to see. So that JavaScript people will do. So now here, you are having three different kinds of people are there. Front end HTML, one developer is there, and CSS, cascading style sheets. Those who are preparing the styles for that particular application is one more person here. Okay. And he is a developer one. And this guy is a developer two. And similarly, we are having a JavaScript. Those who validate the code. Okay. So this is dev 3. So imagine that these all three members are located under different places. Say for example, this guy is sitting under Mumbai, and this guy is sitting under Pune, and this guy is sitting under Bangalore. Okay. So if this is the case, see, this guy has written HTML code, and this guy has written the HTML styles, and this guy has written the JavaScript. So now how I want to get the data for this? I want to get JavaScript validations to this HTML file. So how are we going to contact those guys? Whether are you going to communicate through email, whatever the code you have written, are you going to share through the email communication or zip file or any other formats or any drives, Google Drive or something like that, right? So there is a communication we require, right? Whenever we
Yes.
have these kind of different places and different things. So everyone is having their own mission. Okay. So what they will do, they will push their code to the central repository. See now, this guy is also having the impact on your application. All the three members are impacting for this application, but none of the people are sitting under one place. They're sitting under different places and different geographic locations. Okay, so if this is the situation, what they will do, they will use one kind of remote repository that is called as a version control system. We can say it is a Git, the version control system. And this is a remote distributed version control system. Distributed version control system. That means that we need two requirements here. You have to create one account, GitHub account. Okay, or we have some more version control systems as a GitLab or GitHub, Bitbucket or SVN. Okay, these all are some kind of version control system. Out of that, Git is the more famous distributed version control system. What do you mean by distributed version control system? They have their own internal Git server, and here also you have the central repository. So each and every developer, they have their own setup in their local. Similarly, remote repository also, they have their own things. So here also you have the GitHub Git software. Similarly, each and every developer, they will maintain one Git software. Okay, Git. So they will push their code from this mission to this remote repository. Okay. So once they pushed the code, it will reflect in the same repository. Wherever you are maintaining the repository, in the same repository, we are going to maintain that particular code. Okay. Suppose if he has created 10 lines of code, and second developer has created 5 lines of code, and third one is created 20 lines of code, then they want to update before end of the day, they need to push the code to central repository or remote repository. Okay, so that is what we are going to see now. So in practically how this is going to happen, and see, if we have a single one way of connectivity, right? In one way of connectivity, you don't have any Git software in your own missions. So in that case, if at any time, if your server is going to fail, then entire your data is going to loss. Okay. So that means because of that, what we are going to do, we are going to install your Git software in your local machines, and you have to push the code to your remote repositories. Okay. So that way it will work out. So basically here we are going to use some basic commands. Okay. So in Eclipse, how to do the same thing, I will just show you one example so that you may have the more clarity on that.
Sir, GitHub or GitLab all are same only? Like
Yes, yes. No, GitHub is a different, GitLab is a different. Both are in a different things. GitLab, but both are version control systems only. Almost similar. Functionalities are similar only, but account is different. GitHub is a different and GitLab is a different. Okay.
okay.
So, okay. See now, in order to do that, what you can do that, you have on Git software, GitLab. Okay, so just go to the GitLab and sign in your with your email ID. Okay, so github.com. Okay, see, normally you will get one account, github.com. So once if you have registered your account, then you will get all your open repositories here. Okay, so the different projects. Now here also we have some accounts, right? So what we will do, we are going to create a one project, and then once we create the project, then what we have to do, if I right click on this, right, any application or anything. So here, once you right click on this, we will get one team option. So here, initially, you won't get that all commit, pull, all those options. Once you do the share project here, okay, once you get the share project, then once if you click on finish, then you will get one master repository. So now once again, if you go here and if you can do team option, you will get the required options here like commit, push, pull, all these options, right? So here now we are going to good to go for this. So here we have already created one demo project. So which one? Okay, see here, the same thing only. Here also we are having some two projects are there, right? So now what I will do, now this demo one is there. This Srinath demo, this is the Java project. The same file which is located in here is this one. So this is a commit file, 22 commits happened, right? So 2 days before we have committed the code. And whenever we made some changes, it will maintain the track of history. This is what we have discussed, right? See here. If I'll go to history, right? You can see whoever is made when we have created the file. This is the first commit, okay? And second and 6 months ago, we have created this, right? So in this way, we are going to maintain the history of the track, who deleted, who updated, or who modified. Everything is going to track it here. Okay. So this is what now, if you see here, your last commit is 2 days ago. Now I am going to do some changes in this particular file, and then we will come back here. Okay. So now what I will do, I will make some changes here. So here in this, we have system.out.println pulling code from Git repo, right? Modification. I am doing the modification. Okay. Similarly, Git repository updated file. Okay, here also we are going to do some changes. See, this is what I made the change. Or else I will make it here as 30. And here also I will make it 50. Okay, now I just saved this. Now if you go back to here, if you can see here, right? See, right now there is no any updated, whatever I updated, right? See, the same code is happening here, 10,20, right? So now how to get this code? This is the local code which we have updated. How to pull this code to central repository or this remote repository? So what you can do now, even though I will refresh, it won't get here because it is not updated. So for this, what you have to do, right? So here, go to your project and then right click. You have the team option. Go to the commit. Okay. Once you do commit option, we have committed. Once we commit the code, whatever the changes we did, right? So those all are going to be unstaged changes to staged changes. Now I am going to push to origin. Okay. So now I am going to push this project, this code to the master branch. Okay. See, now it will ask the username and password. So, and then we will have to use the one code was there, so we need to use this code. Okay, so that is the token code which we required whenever we are doing. So now I am just logging in this. Okay, done. Now that's all. So now if I'll go back and if I'll see here in this particular place, now if I'll just refresh it, see now it is showing 2 days ago. Once I get the refresh, right, it will show you the 2 days ago, right? Okay, so here we have the commit and push, right? So we need to see now the file which is changed, right? So it initially it will go to the unstaged changes, then it will move to the staged changes. Now here we can use our own message also. We modified the commit message here, modified the code. Okay, so now I am just clicking on commit and push. Okay, again you're asking 225 yes, and this one is our code. That is a key it will ask. Okay, now it is done. Now if I will go back here and now I will just refresh it again. Okay, see now it has been changed to now right here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see now if I can see here code git repo modification updated file changes. Similarly here also 30, 50. The changes has been implemented and affected. Now if you want to see how what all are the changes has been done, you just see once if you go inside, right, edit this file. Okay, so here once if you go on this, so if you want to do some changes also, you can edit this file. Again, you can, once we are getting the changes in repository, you have to use the pull option. Okay. So this is how. So now if I go here, right, dem1. Now I did here, and what is the history here? See, this is the 1 minute ago we did. What we made the changes. If you want to see that, let's see here. See that line number 28, what we made earlier, this is the code and this is what we made it. Okay. So similarly, what we did here 10, 20, this is we changed, right? 10 and 20, we made changes to 30, 50. So this represents that it is a changes happened in this file, right? So this is how we are going to use by using the push option. Okay, so basically we use the git push. So if you have a Linux command, if you are comfortable with Linux command, then you can work through command line interface also, CLI option. Okay, git push. So this is the option we are going to code from Eclipse IDE, right? Local system to git repository means central repository. See, tomorrow, suppose if my Eclipse has gone deleted or my this system got corrupted, then you don't worry about that. This code is always present on this repository. Whenever you required, you just what you have to do, you just copy this particular file and you can import the same thing. That's it. Okay, see now we have made the changes, right? So we are pushing from local system to central repository. You got it right? Up to here you are clear with the help of git push option. Okay.
Okay.
So
Local
now,
system means our system which we are working to
correct.
central repository.
Yes. Local means our system. Because this is our system only, right? Whatever I did here, this is my local mission, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now my intention is suppose your colleague or your someone has made some changes in this particular file. Say this particular file. your colleague has made some changes. This is the master branch. Okay. So what they did here, yes, A plus B instead of addition, they used the multiplication factor. Okay. So in this case, what we will do now? Now we made some changes here, or now I pull this code to central repository. Similarly, I am going to make some changes here. I am going to edit this file. Uh, See here we have, right, this is a code. Once you copy this code and then you can go to your local folder. Here you will get the import option. Once you go to the import, then you have the Git, projects from Git. Click on next, clone URI. Now you can see here directly it is updating here that folder, because now this is already present here. So you can use your username and password and then click on next. Then it is going to be import your project or file, that too, and it is going to be stored in this particular place. So now what I will do, I will make some changes here. Say for example, under this demo, I will create a one more class here. Okay, say for example, git repo. I will create a one main method. That's all. Now I am not going to do anything here. Just see, now this is done. So now what I will do, again I have to commit the change. Now we did some change, right? See, once we made some changes, obviously that change is going to be reflected under the unstaged changes. So how that is going to be happen? See, if we have a file here, this is your local file, local system, okay, working directory and staging area and unstaged changes, then staging area. So once you made the commit option, then that is going to be stored under your local repository. Then once you use the git push option, then it is going to be stored under remote repository. Again, now we are going to pull the changes, okay, to your local repository. So now we are going to do this git pull option. So now that is how we are going to do. So this is a good git push option. Now, if I want to move this, I have to move to the staged changes. Okay, once we move that file to staged changes, then you will get this commit and push option. Now I will just simply, you must enter a commit message. Okay, created new class file. Okay, so now this commit message is mandatory. Okay, what is the purpose of commit message? You can write your own method or like kind of information to others. Okay, so I'm just going to save this. Okay, we need to again, we have to use again, we have to copy this token key. Okay, that's all. Now I have to push. Okay, so okay. So now this is done now. So now if I go back and if I will refresh it under this demo, see now 8 minutes ago it is showing. Now once I will refresh it, it will refresh the now commit option, right? See now under this SRC, earlier we have only two folders, but now under this package, you can see this Git repo, right? This is what we just created, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will add some data here. Now I am going to edit this file now. Okay, so here I am going to create a system dot. This is what your colleague is doing. System dot out dot println. Here you can use this statement. Okay, git completed from central to local. Okay, this is how we are going to do. Now I will commit changes. I have to commit the changes. Okay, so now I have to give the commit message. Okay, we are pulling from git or central to local repo. So that is how we have to. So now I just saved this. Okay. So now what I have to do, we have to use the pull request, or you can go directly here. Now what I will do in this git repo, I have only this one. Okay, so now if I will save this, control yes, I am not getting that statement what we have created there. So you have one pull option is there. So you have to pull that. Just go to this particular project and go to your team option. From there, you have the pull option, pull, right? You want to specifically what changes made, then you have to go with the fetch. Okay, that means that what exactly the changes is happened, then only you can go with the fetch option. Or you don't want to use fetch option, you can get all the data whatever it changes, or whoever is changed, then you will go with the pull option. Okay, so once you go with pull option, now I can close this. Okay, see, the moment I tried git completed from central to local repo, did you got it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's all.
Those
So,
checked.
yeah, so this is how we are going to create from how to get the folders, and whoever is, see, suppose even n number of people, you have to share this git repo, okay, under master branch. Okay, this is the master branch. So whoever is commit the code, the entire code should be present under this particular file. Okay, so like this, you can use with this with the help of the. Now even after 2 years or 10 years also, this won't be deleted, right? Until if you have some manual deletion happens, right? So this is how we are going. You got it, right? This is the SRC,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So basically, we are have, if you go with Linux command, right, you have to use the git init command. Git init. This is a Linux command, git init. If you want to go with command line interface, that means that through CMD, through CMD. This is a CLI, but here you are not using that, right? Directly we can go with, if we can use the Git software, right? Git bash. You have the Git software. How to download that Git software? You have one Git software. Okay, you can download through this. If you go to, if you work through command line interface, then this is required. Otherwise, if you directly go to the Eclipse IDE and you can do some
Okay.
operations, then you can directly go with this option. Okay, you are clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we need to do. So okay, you just connect again for 10 to 15 minutes and we will wind up the session. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is going to be end. That's why.